Hello and welcome to Pockenrop. In today's video I am going to be presenting my top 15 Eurovision songs. Now I know some of you watching might consider how on earth have I managed to find 15 Eurovision songs that I think are particularly good, but I have. In fact, there's a few that didn't make it in that I still think are pretty decent. So things like What's Another Year by Johnny Logan, which was a #1 hit in the UK, won for Ireland in 1980, or Rise Like a Phoenix by Conchita Wurst, which won for Austria in 2014. Before I plunge into these 15 tracks, I just remind you to like the video, hit subscribe and the bell to receive notifications of future content, and let's kick in with number 15. I have placed the winner for Luxembourg from 1965, I believe, France Gall's Poupée de Cire, Poupée de Son. This is the only song in this list that does not have an English translation version in any way, but I really like it. It's a beautiful slice of francophone, almost bubblegum pop. Really good fun. I enjoy listening to it whenever I hear it. I like France Gall's vocals anyway. It's my number 15, Poupée de Cire, Poupée de Son. Number 14 is the winner from 2013, which is Loreen with Euphoria for Sweden. I'm not a great dance track fan, but when I do find a dance track I like, I really like it. And Euphoria is, I believe, the best-selling Eurovision song from the whole of its history, or at least it was up to a point. I don't think it's been surpassed since. It was for a time one of my son's favourite songs as well. So Euphoria by Loreen at number 13. At number 12, I've placed the first on this list that didn't win, and there'll be a few non-winners coming up. This is Congratulations by Cliff Richard from 1968. Beaten into second place by Spain that year. There is a conspiracy theory, partly peddled by Cliff Richard, that says that Franco was involved in a bit of vote rigging. It's probably not true. However, my parents went to Spain in 1968 to Barcelona, and they said in every bar and restaurant they went on, you would hear Cliff Richard's Congratulations. It was a hit across the whole of Europe. The Spain winner, not so much. So, number 13, Congratulations by Cliff Richard. Number 12 is an obscure pick. From 2011, representing Iceland is Sjóni's Friends and the song Coming Home. I really like this. The group Sjóni's Friends was a one-song only group, as is often the case for Eurovision, but this time they had a reason. That's because the man himself, Sjóni, died between being selected to represent Eurovision and the actual competition, and they pulled together to perform his song. It's a shame this didn't get better marks. It's a really positive song. It's a bit and there's some brass in there that give it an unusual feel, a bit of a Euro Schlager feel, and I wish this had done better, but it's totally obscure. It is worth checking out. You will find it on things like YouTube, and I think it will be found on Spotify because all Eurovision entries are. But number 12, Coming Home by Sjóni's Friends. Number 11 is another non-winner. It was a UK entry. I believe it came second. It's Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit from 1995 for Gina G. This hit #1 in the UK. Great song. Very much of its time of mid-90s dance track. Should Gina G's Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit actually have won, because it was a huge hit across the rest of Europe. At number 10, I have placed the last time that the UK won the competition in 1997. It was Love Shine a Light by Katrina and the Waves. It came to something in terms of how poorly we were doing in terms of winning Eurovision that we drafted in someone from Canada who was already an established star. Walking on Sunshine had been a huge hit in the 80s. But Love Shine a Light is a really good Eurovision entry, and with an exception that will come shortly, was our best entry for 25 years. Love Shine a Light deserved to win, and it's a good song. At number 9, I have placed another winner for the UK. This song was probably my awakening to music. I've talked on previous videos of how important this band were to me, and indeed their debut album, But ultimately, it was a result of this song. It is, of course, Bucks Fizz and Making Your Mind Up. A great piece of Eurovision pop. By no means my favourite Bucks Fizz track. I think they did much, much better things. It's not even my favourite Bucks Fizz track on the debut album. It's a great song. It was a hit all over Europe and deserved winner. And of course, the famous performance where they had the gimmick where they ripped the skirts off on the words, "Do you want to see some more?" And it's a great song, Making Your Mind Up. That's my number 9. At number 8, I have placed this year's not winning, but almost winning entry from Sam Ryder. It's Spaceman. Spaceman, I think, could be the start of a new resurgence for the UK's performance in Eurovision. This was a nice guy who worked blooming hard around Europe, peddling the song so that people knew it well in advance. It was a great song. It should have won, but it didn't, and I understand why it didn't, because of the whole situation with the Ukraine war. And Spaceman was the best song that year. It was the best performance that year. As it's turned out, the UK are hosting it anyway because of the ongoing war. But I hope this sees us being competitive in Eurovision again with good songs, because good songs can do well. It's just that we haven't put them out. We've had 25 years almost of pure clag and deserved null point coming our way. Sam Ryder's Spaceman, number 8. And number 7 is another really obscure track. It was from Malta in 2014 by a band called Firelight, and it's the second track on this list that's called Coming Home. This had a real Mumford & Sons feel for me. It stuck in my brain that year, and it's not going to be the last pick that I make from that particular year's Eurovision contest. I've mentioned right up at front that the Conchita Wurst Austrian winner was a decent song. So there was some good stuff in 2014. I think it was one of the better years for a long, long time. But Coming Home disappeared. It did nothing. And it reminded me of Mumford & Sons. I sought it out when I did a compilation. But I thought, I think you like this track. It's burrowed into my brain. I want to remember that track. And so I check out the other Eurovision song called Coming Home by Firelight from Malta. It's my number 7. At number 6, I'm back with winning songs again, and it's Bobby Socks for Norway in 1985 with La Det Svinga, or Let It Swing. Bobby Socks was a perfect title for the band. These two Norwegian women, I really enjoy the bubblegum pop of La Det Svinga. It's absolutely classic Eurovision at a time when their songs weren't like that. They were 80s pop, but they reached back to this like 50s 60s revival stuff and produced La Det Svinga, and it won. I love it. I think it's a really, really good song. At number 5, I have placed another winner, and it's my highest placed British winner, also my highest placed British entry. It is Save Your Kisses for Me by Brotherhood of Man. Now, there's a reason why I've placed it so high. It is, again, a perfect piece of mid-70s pop. And I have memories, very, very faint memories of when I was about 3 years old singing this to my great aunt because I loved the song so much. I really like the sentiment of the song, that you think it's about a romantic couple and he's off to work, but it's not. It's about a father and his little daughter. And that line at the end, even though you're only 3, is just turns the whole song on its head and gives it that beautiful sweetness, that not quite too saccharine, but it's just really sweet. Save All Your Kisses for Me at number 5. So everything from here on in is non-UK songs. And at number 4, Alexander Rybak with Fairy Tale. This blew away its competition. It won. I think it was 2009. I'll never forget the fact that he was playing his violin, and I think it was it the year of the roller skater going round him while he was singing Fairy Tale. It's a whooping, soaring and looping song. It's really, really good vocally. I really like Fairy Tale by Alexander Rybak, a very worthy winner that year. At number 3 from 1974, it is the greatest winner of Eurovision ever, Waterloo. Stands alone on its pedestal as a brilliant pop song, a brilliant performance, launching a stratospheric career of ABBA, and we have Waterloo to thank for that. If we'd not got Waterloo winning it, which by the way the UK jury gave 0 point to, really, we wouldn't have had the great singles that ABBA have given us. We wouldn't have the point of them coming back last year with that huge 40-year-on comeback album of Voyage. Waterloo. It is the best song ever to win Eurovision, and I'll fight you over that. Which means that my top 2 songs didn't win. And at number 2, I believe it placed 4th in 1958. From Italy, it's Nel Blu di Punto di Blu. What, you might say, is Nel Blu di Punto di Blu? You will probably know it better as Volare. That's right, the song Volare, done by Dean Martin, was a Eurovision song. It is a jazz swing standard. It is that good a song. Volare is a freaking brilliant song, and it didn't win. It's possibly an indication of the fact that it was obviously in Italian and some people didn't understand Italian, but who can name almost any other song from the 1950s in Eurovision except Volare? It is terrific. Nel Blu di Punto di Blu is my number 2. And at number 1, I've trailed the fact that I thought that 2014 was a great year for Eurovision in terms of some brilliant songs. This is the song that, in my opinion, really should have won. It came second for the Netherlands, Calm After the Storm by the Common Linnets. It was the penultimate song of the show. It was beautifully, elegantly staged, and so the song could really shine, and it's a country song. I like the Common Linnets album, and I wouldn't have ever heard it had it not been for Calm After the Storm. It's a phenomenally good song. It's in my top 100, I believe. It's possibly the only Eurovision song that is in my top 100. It was beaten by Conchita Wurst, which was Rise Like a Phoenix. A good song, a Bond theme in search of a Bond movie that wasn't there. Dare I say it, the gimmick of a man with a beard in a dress may have tipped the balance in their favour. A gimmick often goes well with Eurovision because Calm After the Storm is just a perfect country song. And it's my number 1 Eurovision song of all time. So that concludes my top 15 list. I'm sure if you're a Eurovision fan, you've got your own and you will contest some of the things I've included. But I'd just remind you to... But I'd urge you, go back and maybe listen to some of these more obscure tracks because there's some quality in them. I remind you before I go to like, subscribe and hit the bell. But I'll be back in a week with another video. But until then, thanks for watching.